I need a bicycle rack for my wagon. Unfortunately, they don't make them for early 80s G-body wagons. People just didn't haul around their bicycles in those days like they do now. I've not even seen a picture of one, let alone a template. Now, I have found some universals that can be sort of made to work with a great deal of modification. One of those designs, I don't know what they're actually called. I just call it a hanger design. It'll hang off clips right there with some suction cups, things right about there and right about there. They're anywhere from 30 to 40 pounds. They're ridiculously expensive for what they are. They'll require a great deal of modification. And they are made for newer cars that have a frame around their rear window. This one doesn't have a frame. The metal you see up here, that's just trim. There's no structure to it at all. So once you get about 70 pounds hanging here and beating around on this window, that's too much. That is an irreplaceable piece of glass right there. You're not going to be able to just order that up. So that one, that model is, strikes that. Now the other kind, and again, I don't exactly know what they're called. I just call them a stanchion kind. They're a pole that comes out of here with a T that comes off this way, and it'll hold your bike, unless it's a step-through beach cruiser. And here's the thing about that. The ones I've found, too, I'd have to do a great deal of modification to them as well. They are stupid expensive, and they weigh anywhere from 50 to 65 pounds, plus a 35-pound bicycle. Next thing is, it requires a trailer hitch, a frame hitch with a receiver. They don't make frame hitches for this car anymore. They once did, but you can't find them anymore. I have found only one that I could modify to work here. It is ridiculously expensive, and it is also anywhere from 60 to 80 pounds. So now let's say I've got a 60-pound trailer hitch, I've got a 60-pound rack, and I've got a 35-pound bike. You can see that's a lot of weight back here. And again, they're stupid expensive, requires a lot of modification. So I have imagineered a few designs. I actually drew 3 designs, and I made 2 wooden mock-ups, and I know which way I'm going. The wooden mock-ups are a real help as envisioning tools, as the great Ian Roussel would say. I've acquired the metal to do this. All the metal, including welding wire, is $80. And it'll weigh it'll weigh less than 40 pounds. So right now, the only thing to do is to start cutting and welding and grinding, come up with something. Well, that took longer than I had imagined it would. I had to remake a couple parts to have it fit just right. But you can see it holds the bike just right. The bottom of the wheels are just at the bottom of the bumper along a horizontal plane. The rack itself weighs 32 pounds. The bicycle weighs 35 pounds, so I have less than 70 pounds on that tongue. I have more weight on that tongue with my camping trailer than 70 pounds. So I am safe with this thing. It's strapped in well at 3 points, which is helpful. I had this eye bolt up there so I can put a couple straps from here to the end of the bumper, but this thing has absolutely no flex side to side, so they're really not necessary, though I expect I'll keep them on there for peace of mind. The other thing I really like about this rack, that's a grade 8 bolt right there that I can take off, and this completely disassembles, so I have a long flat piece that makes it easy for storing this thing. I like, you know what, let me do this. I'm going to turn this off for a second and take the bicycle off so you can see how the rack itself looks, but mostly just look at this and you can see it holds the bike just right. I'm well pleased. Okay, now you can see the rack itself a little better. Like I say, it costs less than $80, and it weighs 32 pounds, and it could have been lighter, but I used 120 wall tube because I just wanted to make sure this thing was absolutely stiff, and stiff it is. If you can see down here on the bottom, there is a lot of welding and a lot of gusset right there. I wanted to make sure that that connection was solid, and it is. There is no flex side to side, and there's practically no flex forward and backward. I don't know if I'm going to need really those straps, but like I say, I think I'm going to do them anyway. The other thing, this grade 8 bolt right here will slip out, and this whole section comes apart, and now you just have a long straight piece that can easily be folded flat and stowed away. It's all in all, I think, a pretty good design, and it certainly does what I want it to do, which is hold that step through beach cruiser bike. Overall, I'm well pleased with this thing. It's a lot lighter than anything I could have bought. I think it's a lot stiffer than anything I could have bought, and it breaks down really well. And it's lighter as well. I am overall, I've got to say, very well pleased with this thing. DIY bicycle rack.